Okay, so we are getting a new pool liner. So what happened was, it's every year, last couple years, it started coming off around the edges. And the first year it happened, these guys came out and they poured hot water on it, and it was pliable enough that they were able to pull it up and put it back in the grooves. Next year, I closed the pool, opened it up, and it got worse like this. So it was pulling off, and this time it wasn't pliable anymore. This is an old liner, so this will be the process of us getting a new liner. So it cost about $3,600, and yesterday we took the nasty tarp off and we cut it. It had holes in it, so we just cut it up and we're going to throw it away. And then I used that pump right there, which I've made a video on, and this is on Amazon. See the link below for in the description. That will sit on top of your cover and it will automatically shut off, which is a very important thing when you have a pool pump, because if it drains the water, you want it to shut off automatically. Before I had one that didn't, and it would just run all the time, and that's really bad. So I used that to take the water off the cover and all the way down to there. And then these professionals came to do the liner, and they're going to pump out the rest with the big pump, and it automatically shuts off. Also, I haven't even seen what it looks like yet. But now, the good thing about having them do your liner in the spring is, one, we could have done this last year, and now it's spring. We could have done it last year, but then your liner is just that much older. So we thought, let's just deal with it and then have a new liner next spring, and they will open the pool for you. So that was baked into the cost of the new liner. So I don't have to worry about chemicals and anything. We're just going to fill it up with new water. Alright, the covers. I'll put a link in the description to pool covers. All the point of the pool cover is for, basically, is to keep leaves and junk out of your pool. Other than that, the water still gets nasty every year, but it makes the job of cleaning easier. The problem I have is that tree right there drops all of its leaves. If you buy a pool, be careful about what's over the pool. It's still good, it's still great, it's still wonderful and all, but it never gets hot enough because it blocks the sun, and it dumps a lot of leaves. I literally had that basket, I probably pulled 100 to 110 of those out over the course of 3 months and dumped them over here, and then I just would dig out the leaves on top of the pool cover, dump them over here, dig them out, and then of course I got rid of that later when it dried out. Over here, and then I just would dig out the leaves on top of the pool cover, dump them over here, dig them out, and then of course I got rid of that later when it dried out. Leaves are a huge problem, and also gumballs. Those damn gum trees, oh, I hate those things. Okay, so that was from my pool pump, that hose, but this is the professional pool pump. It's much bigger than mine, probably does 3 times the water. And I mean, it's just rainwater, so basically it takes a long time to, takes a lot longer than you might think, even with a professional pump, to pump out a pool. Pool guys actually just came here and left it here for me to watch, because they've got other jobs to do. Okay, it took them a couple hours. They came out here, they tucked and they pulled and tucked and pulled. Now we're filling it up. They told us to fill it up to that line. They're sucking it out there. They told us to fill it up to that line. And then tomorrow morning we're going to call him. He's going to come out and do the rest. We have a light, that light right there, that has to go in. And we got to fill it up. It's going to take all night. They're sucking it out here and here. Alright, so the liner is complete. They put our lights in. We had to buy a new bracket around there, $100 he said, that shiny bracket around the light. They poured chlorine here. He said to always pour chlorine here. I'm not sure why. I guess it mixes in easier. It doesn't hurt the liner perhaps. They poured liquid chlorine in, and then we rinsed it off. So I'm going to be getting in the pool in a minute. Chlorine stabilizer, he gave us that. He said when it fills up, take the baskets out and pour it in very, very slowly, otherwise it'll clog. So you pour it in slowly, the chlorine stabilizer, let it circle around, put the baskets back in, and we're done. Let's go take a look. He said you have to be really careful when it's at this level, because oftentimes people will want to swim and they'll slip and they can hit their head or something. You have to be very careful because it's super slick and there's not enough water there to break your fall, but I'm gonna go do it anyway. So we are still filling it up. There is a little gap here. He said it might come away from the wall. And if in that case, we'll call him and have him put it back. So right now, there is chlorine in the water, a lot of it. I probably shouldn't be in. I'm gonna rinse my legs off here in a minute, but the water is going down through the, there's a main drain in the bottom. It's going down and cycling through. So the only water that's coming in is this hose right here. And it's pretty cold, but I can swim. This is cold. This is as cold as it gets. Pretty much hose water. The hose water is warmer than the pool water for some reason. The whole time we've had this pool, one of the biggest problems is that tree right there. And the sun, we're about 10:30 or 11 o'clock, it's blocked. So this is in the shade most of the time, and it makes the pool cold. Colder than we like it, you know what I mean? So that's been one of our main problems, but let's check this out. Let's see you go, Cardi. I want to see a big dive. Woo!
A hotel, like, waterfall pool.
Yeah. The pool is full now. It took almost 24 hours to finally get it full. They said to pour your chemicals in here. This was his idea, that because it mixes in so more slowly. If you don't, I used to pour it in over there and kind of on the jet, but he said it tends to just go to the bottom, especially if it's granular. I was mixing it with water and pouring it there and trying to blast it out, but he said to pour things here. So every time I see the pool guy, they pour liquid chlorine right in here. They just pour it right here, and he says it mixes in more slowly, and that's the way to do it. So I'm going to do it. He said not to use those little floaty things with the tablets. He said to put the tablets in the skimmer. Put those tablets, chlorine tablets, in the skimmer, and don't let those things float around, which is, those things are annoying anyway, so I kind of agree with that. I'll let you decide what to do. Take off the old cover. I threw away the old cover. It was so nasty. It was too big too, by the way. I was able to order online for about $90 a 30 by 50 tarp for next year. Here we are. Beautiful. I picked the dark color. You get to pick the color that you want. I picked a dark color on purpose, so over the years when it fades, it will have more time to fade and turn white, rather than starting white and fading sooner. So I picked a darker color for that very purpose. I just like the dark blue, and I was thinking about fading, and it would seem to last longer because these things do fade. If you look at videos of our old liner, it looks almost white because it had faded so much.